The Infection Sciences Department at HSL is one of the largest in Europe. It's split over 2 floors, which is unusual for an Infection Sciences department. And just to give you some context of the size, we have 5 Molotov platforms, 2 Keister platforms, and many, many people working in our department, up to 150 members of staff.
I am the Training and Development Manager for Infection Sciences. I became involved with training because I love microbiology and I love sharing knowledge and that passion about learning with the new generation of scientists coming through.
This is the Keister System. It's a total lab automation system. It organises the plates for you, so it'll bring you the plates to put up the test that's required, and then it incubates the plates and takes a digital image when the incubation is ready. We view the images on the digital workstations that enables the scientist to ascertain whether there's an infection or not. We have 2 Keister total lab automation systems. They hold in total 11,000 plates, which is about 5,500 plates a day. The most unusual case I've come across involved the organism on the screen at the moment, which is gonorrhea. It's usually a sexually transmitted organism, but we isolated it from a knee fluid, which is very unusual. This only happens when the patient's had the disease for a long time and it started to spread throughout the body.
In tissue and fluids, we receive a variety of samples, either sterile or non-sterile. It can either be cystic fluids, pleural fluids, tissues from operations, brain pus, cerebrospinal fluids. We triage these samples accordingly to the SOP. We culture onto different medias. The following day, we identify and do the sensitivities on them.
I work in blood cultures, and in here we look for bacteria and yeasts that are in patients' blood. So the whole idea of us being here is to identify the bacteria and also decide on which antibiotics are best, so that we can get really rapid results to the clinician so the patient can be treated. We're lucky enough to be linked to the Hospital of Tropical Diseases, which means we get to see organisms that the rest of the country don't see. Examples of such organisms are category 3 organisms like typhoid, which we isolate from patients returning from abroad and who need specialised treatment.
The Mycology Unit Hsl is split into 3 sections. The first section is the culture room, which is what you're standing in at the moment. The second section is a dissection molecular suite, and the third is an analytics environment where we test serum, bronchoalveolar lavage and other clinical specimens for biomarkers of invasive fungal disease. My role in the Department of Infection Sciences at HSL is one of a senior clinical scientist. On a day-to-day basis, I'm in charge of the Mycology Unit and I'm the section lead, but I'm also involved in assay development through the department.
I'm currently working as a trainee biomedical scientist here in the enteric lab, and here we process stool samples. We process around 200 samples every day. I did an undergraduate degree in biomedical sciences. It was an accredited degree, and I'm currently working as a trainee biomedical scientist and currently completing my IBMS registration portfolio.
So it's estimated that about 80% of healthcare decisions are influenced by laboratory diagnostics. So high quality diagnostic laboratories are absolutely crucial to patient management. At HSL, we run a clinically led laboratory service, so the clinicians work very closely with the scientists in order to plan appropriate pathways to diagnose the infections that we see. In the era of antibiotic resistance, it's really important that we know that the antibiotics that we are using not only treat the patient that we've got in front of us at this moment, but also that we know the trends of antibiotic resistance emerging so that we can plan for the future.
I think a good microbiologist needs to be an investigator, have an inquiring mind and like solving puzzles.
Good microbiologists are dedicated, passionate and enthusiastic for their subject, but they also have a lot of empathy with patients who have diseases, and that's really what drives you forward in doing your day-to-day job.